Hey y'all, welcome to B's Intuition. I'm B and I'm back with another General Collective Energy message. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I do cuss and I do tell the truth, so if you don't like either one of the two, then you probably should move on. I've already prayed over the cards and the energy, so we're just going to hop in and get this message. Please remember to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe, especially to those of you that are new on the channel but have not yet subscribed. You don't want to miss out on the messages that God has for you. Also, please remember to take what resonates only and leave the rest for whoever it's for. Every message will not be your message. So with that being said, y'all, let's hop in. Hope you guys are having a blessed day on today. For those of you that don't know, we do have a Patreon page. It is B's Intuition on Patreon, so you guys are more than welcome to join us. So I've heard that word has gotten back to somebody. So I don't know what this word is that has gotten back to somebody. But I feel like that they could, like be feeling embarrassed or ashamed. Or, they could be, like feeling sad. They could be feeling, like depressed, anxious, paranoid. Because of this word that has gotten back to whoever this is. Somebody could be born in 1989, 1998, or 1999, or those years are significant to somebody. I also heard too that somebody could be trying to mess with somebody's throat chakra. So somebody possibly doesn't want somebody to communicate something, or somebody they just want somebody like to be quiet. Maybe somebody feels like that somebody talks too much, somebody's annoying, and so they could be trying to, cause, like some stuff to happen to somebody's throat chakra. Somebody also didn't receive, like some type of formal communication. So this could be, like a bunch of emails or a bunch of text messages. This could be due to, somebody being blocked out. Or this could be due to, like somebody, not sending out the text messages or not sending out the emails. So maybe, like typing them out, but not really, pushing the send button. I don't know, y'all. Let's just hop in and see what's going on. At the bottom of the deck, we have you got mail. So something about, the World Wide Web, something about the internet. But the you got mail, what was that? AOL. So that was, like back in the day, I guess when, we first really started to, get technology and the internet and things of that nature. So, the past could be significant. Something, about the past could be relevant, like to this message. Maybe there's a past person, that's been trying to communicate with somebody, through email or through, some form of, on social media or something like that. And maybe, it's not going through. Something is not going through. Somebody, could be trying to, mess, with, somebody's technology. Somebody, could have, hacked into somebody's, accounts or phone, to stop some type of communication from going through. Wow. Wow. Holy Spirit, what do we need to know? Yeah. The Destiny card flipped over. So destiny will be fulfilled. Like somebody, could be going towards, fulfilling their destiny. Maybe whatever somebody does, it could be, somebody, could be a public speaker or motivational speaker. Somebody, could have a podcast, or, somebody could do, TED Talks. Something to do with communication. But it's a part of their destiny. That could be, what somebody, is trying to do. Stop somebody from being able to communicate so that they won't be able to, fulfill their destiny, walk in their purpose, complete their soul mission out here. Somebody, could be worried about their future. We got dirty deeds. So somebody's bad outweighs their good out here. Somebody, could be, like having, like dark thoughts at this time. Something definitely, it could be eating somebody up. This could be like somebody's own inner demons could be eating somebody up on the inside, or like the dark thoughts that somebody's thinking, could be, like eating them up on the inside. Somebody, could have a dirty home out here as well. We got the four walls and a roof card. So somebody, could have a dirty home. Somebody, could, do dirty business deals, or, like somebody, could have some type of fraudulent business out here, or doing dirty business. Somebody, definitely, could be playing dirty out here. That could be, why somebody, was embarrassed. That could be why somebody, feels, like the way that they feel. Give me another one. Yeah. Something is going down. Meet me in the mall. It's going down. That's what I just heard, but that's not this card. But something about the mall could be significant. Or, there could be somebody, that has some type of beef with somebody. Or, something is going down and it has something to do with some beef. But somebody's life, could be, like regressing out here. Somebody, could be, like really, somebody's mental health, could be, like crashing down. Or somebody, is about to crash out here. Yeah, somebody's life, could be, like a roller coaster, so up, down, up, down, up, down. They can't seem to, like get off of this roller coaster ride. This could be somebody's mind as well, so somebody's mind, could just be racing, all out of control. Their thoughts. Keep positive thoughts at this time. But somebody's mind definitely, could be racing out here. Somebody, could have, like some type of dirty thoughts about, like somebody, or, have dirty thoughts about doing something to somebody. But it's only because they're going down. They're like regressing out here. But we have eating your words. So somebody, could be about to have to eat their words. Somebody, could find out, like that they bit off more than they could chew out here. Somebody's greedy out here. Yeah, we got Divine Feminine that came out. Something about, like a dirty woman. Somebody, could have, like went down, on a dirty woman. And they could have come up, with some stuff on they mouth. Or somebody, they ran their mouth about somebody, in a bad way. But somebody definitely, could want to run into somebody. I don't know if it's, like running into somebody by a vehicle, but I have been picking that up. But, like run into somebody, like in public, maybe somebody, is wanting, to like see somebody in public out here. But something about, somebody's ex could be involved. Somebody's very, very comfortable. So I don't know, if, like there's somebody, that just wants somebody to be uncomfortable. They don't want somebody to be respected. They want somebody to be disrespected. This person, could have disrespected somebody, This person could have betrayed somebody. This person, could have lied to somebody, stabbed them in the back. But I feel like, like somebody, like is comfortable in their skin out here. Something about somebody's skin. I've been picking up, skin a lot lately. But, it's a figure of speech, like, so somebody, somebody's comfortable with themselves. Somebody knows who they are. Somebody knows, like their worth. So, at the bottom of the deck, we got, sneaking around. So somebody's sneaking around. Somebody, could be trying to sneak around with somebody, so somebody, could be in a relationship, but they're trying to sneak around with somebody else. Somebody, could like sneakers a lot. Like to wear sneakers a lot. You know, like there could be a feminine energy, you know, they could be a tomboy, you know, so they wear sneakers a lot, or, you know, they just, you know, like do, you know, a lot of work, you know, that requires, you know, like closed toe shoes, so like sneakers. Somebody, you know, could exercise a lot. Mm. Wow, there could be a feminine energy, you know, that could be operating in their masculine energy. So maybe, you know, there's somebody that doesn't like that, you know, like somebody is operating in their masculine energy. I feel like, because it's giving me like the Nine of Pentacles. So somebody, you know, that's independent, you know what I mean? So they don't, you know, really depend on, you know, like other people, you know, to help them do stuff, you know. They don't, you know, really depend on, you know, other people, you know, when it comes to, uh, like work, or when it comes to, I'm picking up on somebody that, you know, like, yeah, like, they want to move furniture around in their home, you know, and there's not a man around, excuse me, they still find a way, you know, to like move that furniture around. So I don't know, you know, if, yeah, like somebody is mad about that. Mm-hmm. I feel like, yeah, like somebody is, you know, like just a whole woman out here, or a whole man, you know what I mean? So I feel like yeah, like somebody, you know, yeah, like they're independent. Why is this dirty deeds here? I just saw the globe, so something, yeah, something about the internet. But something could be ending out here. Mm-hmm. Why don't you chill with some beef and get some chicken instead? So there could be some beef that could be ending. There could be some beef on, you know, like social media. Mm-hmm. There could be a feminine energy, you know, like they're, you know, they could, you know, like gain a lot of weight out here. So, you know, maybe, you know, that's the person, you know, that is uncomfortable in their skin. I don't know if somebody, you know, was trying to, you know, like do some type of, you know, like spell work, you know, like to cause somebody, you know, like to gain a lot of weight. I don't know. But yeah, somebody wants some beef out here. But there goes the food card. So be aware of the beef. Be aware of, yeah, the, you know, the meat, you know, that you're buying, the meat that you're consuming. But yeah, somebody, you know, wants to, you know, like have some type of beef, you know, over, you know, like the choices that they made in their life. You know, somebody chose, you know, to allow, you know, the bad to outweigh the good, and now, you know, they want to have some beef with somebody else. That's what I'm picking up as well. There could also be somebody, you know, that, you know, could have been, held a little weight on them, you know, but because their life is digressing, you know, they could be, you know, like losing a whole lot of weight. Somebody's weight could fluctuate out here. Why is this going downhill here? There could be somebody, you know, every time, you know, they want to, you know, like have some type of beef with somebody, yeah, like their life, you know, gets worse or something like that. Somebody, you know, could want to blame somebody for why, you know, their life is the way it is. But this is one of the protection cards. So somebody definitely is protected out here. Somebody, you know, possibly, you know, yeah, you know, somebody, you know, is having sexual intercourse. Somebody definitely, yeah, needs to protect themselves. But yeah, this is also, you know, like pointing the finger, placing the blame. So somebody, you know, could be trying to point the finger or place the blame, you know, on somebody for why there's some beef, you know, that could be going on. Or again, why, you know, like some stuff is going on in their life. Somebody's first, middle, last name could start with a C or a R. But we got the new beginning card at the bottom of the deck. So somebody, you know, could be about to, you know, like start some type of new beginning. Somebody possibly, yeah, needs to protect themselves, because somebody definitely, yeah, could be trying to, you know, like put a bun in somebody's oven out here. Why is Divine Feminine here? We got the waxing crescent moon phase. So something, you know, could have happened on the waxing crescent moon phase, whenever that is, or, you know, whenever the new waxing crescent moon phase takes place, something could happen, you know, by then. But yeah, something is being stopped, or somebody, you know, was trying to, you know, like stop somebody, you know, in their tracks. Something, you know, like could happen at a stop sign. Somebody, you know, is being protected, you know, like from going downhill, or, you know, like from regressing. So somebody's ancestors could be protecting them from, you know, like whatever this is. There could be 8 people involved, but something about, yeah, that number 8. Somebody, you know, could be trying to, yeah, like stop some type of karma that they're going through. Or somebody feels like, you know, that somebody, you know, could, yeah, like stop their karma. But good luck with that. Give me another one for this Divine Feminine. Yeah, we got the moon. So, yeah, the waxing crescent moon phase. Something about, yeah, the full moon. Somebody, you know, yeah, somebody's protected, you know, from, you know, like some stuff that, you know, like somebody, you know, could have done on the full moon. If somebody tries something, you know, on the next full moon, somebody is still going to be protected. But something is hidden out here. Somebody, you know, could be trying to hide something out here. Maybe word has got back, you know, that somebody, you know, is protected, you know, from whatever they're doing. I feel like somebody, you know, is spiritually protected and physically protected out here. We got Scorpio, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. There could be, you know, like some type of investigation, you know, that could be taking place. It's also what I'm picking up. The funeral card flipped over. So something about a funeral could be significant. Something definitely is coming to an end. For sure. Why is we got red lipstick stains? So somebody definitely, yeah, could have been, you know, like sneaking around, cheating. So, you know, there could be somebody, you know, that somebody, you know, was sneaking around with, you know, that possibly, you know, could want to have some type of beef with somebody. Why is this? Why don't you chill with some beef and get some chicken instead? Somebody possibly, yeah, could, you know, be, you know, like not eating red meat anymore, you know, possibly, you know, trying to eat, you know, other things besides red meat, or maybe somebody, you know, would benefit, you know, in doing so. But yeah, somebody's insecure out here. So somebody, you know, could want some beef because they're insecure. Somebody, you know, could be hiding the fact that they're insecure. I don't know, you know, if there is somebody, you know, or that feel like, you know, that, you know, like that a divine feminine, divine masculine is insecure, but we already talked about, yeah, divine feminine, divine masculine, you know, like, they're good in their skin, you know what I mean? They don't have a problem with being who they are. But somebody is ashamed. I feel like somebody is insecure, you know, or somebody, you know, is, yeah, like they're intimidated by divine feminine, divine masculine. That's why they did whatever they did. But yeah, they're ashamed out here. Somebody, you know, somebody definitely, yeah, they're guilty, you know. They are embarrassed and they know that they're in the wrong. So be aware, because somebody, you know, could be trying to come in, you know, like to kiss ass out here. But I feel like whoever this is, yeah, like they're still hiding some stuff out here. So somebody, you know, could try to apologize, but they're still hiding some stuff. Why is this protection here? Somebody, yeah, could have tried to, you know, like, you know, use some protection. So somebody could be like, well, you know, I did, you know, sleep with him, but I used protection. Somebody just needs to be aware. But we got love story. So I feel like, yeah, like somebody's, you know, like spiritual team, you know, has a good ending in store for somebody. So somebody, you know, could be being protected from, you know, people, you know, that, yeah, like, they're not, you know, going to have this, you know, like love story with, or they're, you know, yeah, these could be, you know, like karmics, you know, false flames, fake divine feminines, fake divine masculines. But yeah, but, you know, like, on this love story card, it says once upon a time. So, you know, like a fairy tale. So somebody, you know, was living in fairy tale land out here. Or somebody, you know, is being protected, you know, from people that live in fairy tale land. Somebody definitely, yeah, could be hiding behind secret accounts. Somebody, could be spying on somebody behind secret accounts. Somebody, could try to communicate with somebody through secret accounts. Why is this moon here? Somebody, somebody possibly doesn't know, that somebody, is communicating with other people on secret accounts. Somebody using secret accounts. Somebody doesn't know, that somebody, has multiple accounts that they could be, communicating with other people on. Yeah, but it came right back out. Somebody, literally, could pass away, from something that they've done on the full moon. But there could be some type of investigation, and it could have something to do with, like a death. Or there could be, like some type of investigation, that could be coming to an end. I don't know, if somebody, has said, that, somebody, was responsible for somebody's death, like a divine feminine or a divine masculine. Or, going back to, like somebody, saying that a divine feminine, divine masculine is responsible, for the losses that they're going through, for, whatever's going on, like in their life. There's somebody that can't think for themselves out here. So I feel like that whoever this person is, they definitely, could have taken some type of advice, from some, untrustworthy people. They possibly, they can't think for themselves. Maybe it's because they let those demons, within them think for them. They think, they let their dark thoughts think for them. Somebody lives in fantasy world mentality out here. But somebody definitely needs to know, that, whatever, that somebody's spiritual team has in store for them, it could feel somewhat distant, but, it's within sight out here. Something about, like somebody keeping tabs on somebody. So somebody, could be distant from somebody, but somebody, is still keeping tabs on them. I don't know if somebody, whoever this is, that can't think for themselves, they have other people keeping tabs on somebody, or, they can't think for themselves, so other people told them, like to keep tabs on somebody through some secret accounts. Somebody, could be moving place to place out here. So this could be, like from city to city, state to state, or this could be from like home to home. But somebody definitely, is ashamed of the decision that they made. I don't know if this is, like to be distant from somebody, instead of, like revealing, like how they really feel. Yeah, whoever this is, they can't think for themselves. Somebody's family was behind doing this. Somebody's family, could have been behind, trying to, like get somebody to move from place to place. So, like somebody's family, could have been behind trying to get somebody to lose their home, lose their mind, so that they can, lose their job and, all type of stuff. There could be somebody, that could be using old tactics against the new version of somebody. So, somebody is comfortable in their skin. Somebody knows who they are. Somebody's very confident. You know what I mean? So whoever this is that's ashamed of the decision that they made, they could be, like trying to send somebody in to communicate with somebody. Somebody definitely, has something to tell somebody. The whole community, could be concerned about somebody. Wow, we got beauty spell. So somebody, you know, could have, yeah, like try to do some type of beauty spell on somebody because they're insecure. So whoever this is, you know, I feel like that, you know, yeah, like their skin, you know, could be being damaged, you know, they could be, you know, their weight could be fluctuating, all types of stuff, you know, could be taking place because of whoever this is, you know, could have, yeah, done some type of beauty spell. So somebody, yeah, somebody's protected from it. Yeah, so whoever this is, yeah, they're scared shitless. Somebody, you know, definitely, yeah, could have tried to do some type of beauty spell, you know, to change somebody's appearance so that, you know, people wouldn't, you know, like somebody. You know, people would find somebody unattractive and, you know. But either way it goes, yeah, beauty comes from within, you know. So somebody, you know, is beautiful on the inside and the out. Yeah, somebody possibly, you know, yeah, they could be beautiful on the outside, but they really ugly on the inside. And, you know, by the looks of this beauty spell, they possibly, yeah, looking ugly on the outside as well. Somebody's first, middle, last name could start with an H out here. I don't know. Somebody could, you know, like do some drugs. Because H, you know, that's like short for heroin. We got May. So something, you know, could have taken place in May. Something that somebody, you know, could have done in May during the full moon, you know. Somebody, you know, could be scared shitless about it. We got karma. So, yeah. Somebody, you know, definitely, yeah, could be, you know, like getting some karma out here. Somebody, you know, could be scared, you know, that two people, you know, are going to come together, you know, to have some type of, to be a power couple. There could be, you know, like two people that are already together that they consider themselves as a power couple, but they're really weak as shit, you know. They could be, you know, involved. Yep. So, but there is somebody that possibly, yeah, is scared of two people coming together, you know, to, yeah, like become a power couple. Somebody definitely, yeah, could be scared shitless. Somebody, you know, keeps asking people about somebody, but nobody will tell them anything. Somebody could be a Taurus or a Gemini. We got harassment. So somebody, you know, could be scared shitless. And it could have something to do, you know, with them, you know, like harassing somebody. Somebody, you know, could have tried to lie, you know, and say a divine feminine, divine masculine, you know, was harassing them. You know, whoever this is, they could have, you know, went as far as made fake pages under divine feminine, divine masculine's name to make it look like, you know, that a divine feminine, divine masculine was harassing them. But indeed, they could have been, you know, like harassing a divine feminine, divine masculine, you know, using, you know, like under secret accounts. I feel like whoever this is, yeah, they definitely, you know, could be, you know, like scared shitless now because yeah, they could be being exposed, you know. So, or yeah, they could be scared shitless because word has gotten back to someone, whoever that someone is. Somebody definitely, yeah, needs to, you know, like be careful, even though somebody is protected out here, because somebody, you know, could be trying to, you know, like send somebody in to, you know, like try to harm somebody. So just be aware. We got meet somebody new. So somebody, you know, could have met somebody new in May, or somebody, you know, could be about to, you know, like meet somebody new. So whoever this new person is, you know, it could be, you know, two people coming together, you know, to become a power couple. Somebody, you know, could possibly, yeah, harass somebody, you know, because, you know, either they feel like that somebody, you know, has met somebody new, or yeah, somebody has met somebody new. But we have karma at the bottom of the deck. So, somebody, you know, could be scared shitless, you know, about this karma. Word could have gotten back to somebody, you know, that why they're going through, you know, what they're going through. You know, it's a part. It could be, you know, it's a part of their karma. You know, so whoever this person is, they could be going through it, you know, like through it. And, you know, they're like, you know, is this karma? Is this what it do? I feel like yeah, like it's going to get worse for somebody. We got an X. So somebody's ex could be involved. Somebody's first, middle, last name could start with an X. But we got court. So somebody, you know, could go to court. Or somebody, you know, they could have went to court in May. Or somebody, you know, could be scared shitless about, you know, them going to court. Somebody's first or last name could start with a D. There is somebody or some people, you know, that, yeah, like they can't fool somebody. So word, you know, could have gotten back to somebody that, you know, like they can't fool somebody. I don't know, you know, if there's somebody, you know, that's trying to be somebody, you know, and they're trying to fool somebody to believe that there's somebody. I don't know, but whoever this is that can't fool somebody, yeah, they could be scared shitless. Wow. We got video. So something, you know, could get caught on video. Somebody, you know, could be scared shitless about something, you know, like getting caught on video. I don't know, you know, if somebody, you know, was trying to, you know, like catch somebody on video, you know, saying that they, you know, like harassing them. Somebody, you know, could meet somebody new, you know, on like, you know, like video chat, or meet somebody new, you know, on, you know, like social media or something like that. Maybe somebody has already met somebody new on social media. And so, you know, like somebody's ex, you know, could be, you know, like scared shitless for two people to come together, you know, to create a power couple, you know. And so, yeah, they've been, you know, like harassing somebody, or they've been, you know, like, yeah, doing stuff, you know, to, you know, like cause two people to not become a power couple. Yeah, we got a divine masculine out here. Somebody could be scared shitless, you know, about, you know, yeah, like some type of harassment. It definitely could have something to do with a divine masculine. Or, you know, yeah, like there's a divine masculine, you know, or let's not call him a divine masculine. But there's a masculine energy, you know, that could be, you know, like embarrassed about, you know, like their careless decision making. Because somebody, you know, could be finding out that, yeah, like no weapon that is formed against somebody shall prosper. So there are people, you know, that, yeah, formed weapons, you know, and possibly, yeah, try to use them against somebody. And, yeah, they're not prospering. Somebody definitely, yeah, could have activated, you know, like something within somebody, you know, to possibly, you know, like change their life. Somebody, you know, could be mad about that as well. But we got paperwork and documents. So somebody, you know, could, yeah, because we saw that you got mail. So somebody, you know, could receive, you know, like some mail, paperwork and documents. Somebody's a scam artist out here as well. So something about, you know, like somebody scamming somebody when it comes to, you know, like some paperwork and documents out here. Yeah, we got following instead of leading. So somebody, you know, yeah, has been, you know, like following people instead of leading. You know, yeah, they've been, you know, yeah, they haven't been thinking for themselves. Somebody, you know, could have done some type of credit check on somebody. But yeah, somebody definitely, yeah, is having sleepless nights out here. Somebody, you know, could have been having sleepless nights since May. Yeah, because whoever this is, their self-esteem and their confidence, yeah, is under attack out here. Somebody, you know, could have had, you know, like sleepless nights since May. Maybe they, you know, received some paperwork and documents. But yeah, there are some guardian angels that definitely, yeah, are surrounding somebody. Somebody possibly, yeah, could be scared shitless, you know, about some type of eviction. Or, you know, like somebody, you know, yeah, they try to get somebody evicted. Yeah, be aware. Because there could be somebody, you know, that, yeah, wants to, you know, go through this woe is me. You know what I mean? And, yeah, like try to, you know, like say that all this is going on, you know, like to demand somebody's attention. I don't know. Somebody knows that they can't fool somebody. So, or yeah, word got back, you know, that they can't fool somebody. Now they're scared shitless. So somebody, you know, could have been telling lies, you know, to somebody. Or they could have been, you know, yeah, like making up, you know, like stories in their fantasy world mentality, you know, in order, you know, to like get something, you know, like to go their way. Somebody could be a Virgo. Yeah, somebody's agenda fell through. Or something about, yeah, somebody's agenda. Somebody's Chinese zodiac sign could be of a monkey. Something about the monkey app is significant. We got a rabbit. So somebody's Chinese zodiac sign could be a rabbit. Somebody, you know, could look at somebody, you know, like a good luck charm out here. We got fleeting. So somebody, you know, yeah, they could come and go. Or, you know, yeah, like somebody, you know, comes in and out of somebody's life. Or somebody thinks that somebody's, you know, like door is a revolving door. So somebody needs to be careful, because whoever that is thinking, you know, that way, they could be trying to come in as a partner or a companion. We got a new connection. So somebody from somebody's past possibly, you know, could be trying to come in, you know, to partner up with somebody, but somebody, you know, could already be in a new connection. Somebody, you know, could have some type of, you know, like plan, you know, like to, if somebody, you know, is already in some type of new connection, somebody could have a plan, you know, like to reach out to the person that somebody's in a new connection with. But we have coming in to nurture and support. So there could be a new connection, you know, somebody new that could be, you know, like coming in to nurture and support somebody. We got a Capricorn at the bottom of the deck, so there's a Capricorn involved. We got a false flame, so yeah, be aware of a false flame. For somebody, yeah, somebody's new connection, you know, could be a false flame. Or the person, you know, that's trying to come in, you know, like to nurture or support somebody, you know, could be somebody's false flame. But we got family or past connection. So somebody, yeah, from somebody's past. Somebody definitely, yeah, could have, you know, like listened to, you know, like a family member. We got a Libra. So you could be a Libra and have Libra in your chart. There definitely, yeah, some type of legal situation. There could be a legal situation over a dog. Somebody's Chinese zodiac sign could be of a dog. There could be somebody, you know, that could have dogged somebody out. That could be trying to, you know, like come back, you know, in somebody's life. We got a Scorpio. So, yeah, heavy Scorpio out here. There's an investigation for sure. There could be multiple investigations. We got Mirror. So maybe, you know, somebody realizes that, you know, their beauty spell ain't working. So somebody, you know, could try to do some type of mirror magic. Or somebody, you know, something is being mirrored back to somebody. We got Capricorn. Somebody, you know, could be, you know, like looking in the mirror. You know what I mean? Facing themselves now. We got an Aquarius. So you could be an Aquarius, so there's Aquarius involved. Somebody's Chinese zodiac sign could be of a snake. Be aware of temptation. Somebody, you know, could be nearby, or somebody, you know, could be trying to, you know, like get nearby somebody. But going back to, yeah, it might seem, you know, distant, but something is within reach. Or whatever the card said. We got a Cancer. So there's a Cancer involved. There could be somebody, you know, that could be trying to come in with some type of advice and some guidance. We get somebody's Chinese zodiac sign could be of a rat. Yeah, we got a Karmic. So there's a Karmic out here. So for somebody, yeah, like somebody's karmic family member, you know, could be trying to come in with some type of, you know, like advice or some guidance. Or somebody's, you know, karmic family member, you know, like gave somebody some, you know, like advice or some guidance out here that they were, you know, like dumb enough to listen to. At the bottom of the deck, we got the Witches. So something about some witches. There could be some witches, you know, that want, you know, some beef with somebody. There's some witches, you know, that, you know, could have done some type of beauty spell. There could be some witches, you know, their life could be digressing. Somebody, you know, could have went to some witches, you know, multiple witches to get multiple work done on somebody, you know, and yeah, it's not working. Yeah, we got manifest. So somebody, you know, definitely, yeah, could be, you know, like manifesting at this time. Somebody, you know, could have, yeah, like went to, you know, like some witches to try to manifest somebody. Okay. There could be some people, you know, that could be, yeah, mad because somebody, you know, could be manifesting at this time. Yeah. Somebody, you know, is being told, yeah, like to tell the universe exactly what they want out here. And somebody, you know, is going to get it. For somebody, you know, it could be right in front of somebody. But we got gut feeling. So somebody definitely, yeah, needs to trust their gut feeling. Possibly, yeah, when it comes, you know, to, you know, like a relationship, you know. When it comes, you know, like to ending something, you know, in somebody's life. But somebody definitely, yeah, needs to trust their gut feeling when it comes to, you know, somebody possibly, you know, like going on a trip. Because somebody possibly, you know, could want to, you know, like, yeah, ask somebody, you know, to pack a bag and meet them, you know, like somewhere. Somebody just wants to get away from the world and be alone with you. Be aware. So there could be a group of people, you know what I mean? Somebody, you know, yeah, could be sending, you know, like some people in, you know what I mean? So, yeah, like try to get somebody, you know, to go somewhere. Be aware. But somebody's a lie. But there's also somebody that, yeah, like they're a liar out here. So somebody, yeah, somebody's hiding a lot of stuff. Yeah, possibly, yeah, that they're dating. Dating other people. Yeah, somebody needs to heal. Somebody needs to heal. Somebody needs to, yeah, focus on their healing and focus on their self-love out here. But we have the altar at the bottom of the deck, so somebody just needs to be aware. I don't know, for somebody, you know, could have a destination wedding. There could be a funeral that could take place, you know, at the same time, you know, it could be a wedding that could take place. Wow. So somebody possibly, yeah, could want to, you know, apologize. Somebody, you know, possibly could want to apologize for how much they've hurt somebody. Somebody, you know, could want to apologize for all the pain that they've caused. Yeah, somebody didn't deserve any of it. We got a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Somebody, you know, could be ending something with a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or somebody's ending something with a water sign, or something about, yeah, like, somebody could be passing away. Or, yeah, like, somebody, you know, could be walking away for somebody. That could be, you know, what's best for somebody right now. But I feel like, yeah, like somebody's lying out here. Somebody just needs to, you know, like, trust their gut out here. Somebody, you know, they possibly, yeah, could be, you know, like wanting to end something with somebody because, yeah, they've been doing something behind somebody's back. So somebody just needs to, you know, like trust their gut with whatever this is. But somebody, you know, has pictures and videos saved of somebody. And somebody definitely, yeah, uses them for inspiration, if you know what I mean. We got a commitment. So somebody, yeah, could, you know, like get into some type of commitment. But I feel like somebody, you know, could be hiding, you know, the fact that they're already in a commitment, or, you know, that they're trying to, you know, like get out of a commitment. This is too much. This is confusing. It could be, yeah, a real confusing situation for somebody. Yeah, we got a dark angel. So there could be, you know, like a dark angel, you know, that could be hovering over somebody. There could be a dark angel, you know, yeah, especially with this, why don't you chill with some beef and get some chicken instead? That could be, yeah, like tearing somebody up. You could be seeing the angel number 44. Financial success, stability, and new beginning. Somebody, you know, needs to protect their energy and, you know, believe in their strength. So there could be, you know, like a dark angel, you know, that definitely, yeah, could be protecting somebody. So, yeah, like somebody, you know, with all this darkness in them, you know, yeah, they could be, you know, having to deal, you know, with like that dark angel. that's protecting somebody but hovering over them. But yeah, somebody, you know, could be avoiding direct communication with somebody. So that could be why they could be, you know, like sending somebody in to communicate with somebody. For somebody else, somebody's going to be so much of a coward that they're going to send somebody in to be like, yeah, well, they just think, you know, it's best, you know, if you know, you two just separate. Okay. Because, yeah, somebody was sent as a lesson to teach a lesson anyway. And there definitely is somebody, you know, that's sending distractions. So be aware of, you know, like distractions at this time. We got spiritual allies. So yeah, somebody has a spiritual ally, even if, you know, it's that dark angel. But there are a lot of eyes that are on somebody, for sure. I feel like that there are a lot of eyes that are on somebody for all the wrong reasons. But there could be, you know, like a lot of eyes on somebody, you know, for you know, the right reasons as well. But with the eyes on you, on top of, you know, like the bad deeds card, yeah, there's a lot of eyes that are watching somebody, you know, out of greed, you know, out of lust, out of, you know, yeah. So that could be, you know, like the distractions. But yeah, we got woke up in beast mode. So somebody, you know, could have woke up in beast mode this morning. Somebody's spiritual team could have woke up in beast mode. A dark angel, you know, could have woke up in beast mode. A Gemini, Cancer, Cusper, you know, could have woke up in beast mode. But technically, we just left out of Gemini season and we are in Cancer season. So somebody, you know, yeah, could have woke up in beast mode like now. Somebody definitely, yeah, could have tried to send a dark angel, you know, to somebody. But yeah, like, but it could have returned back to the person that, you know, tried to send it to somebody. But yeah, there is somebody, some people that are lost in the sauce and they can't catch up. They thought that somebody was lost in the sauce. They thought they could fool somebody. So be aware, because there are a lot of eyes that are on somebody that they want somebody, you know, like to compromise their well-being, you know. Possibly, you know, yeah, by causing, you know, trying to get somebody to fight me, you know what I mean? So that, yeah, like somebody could get locked up. There's some people, you know, that, yeah, they want somebody to be heartbroken. But yeah, they're lost in the sauce and they can't catch up. Somebody is not about to compromise their well-being. Somebody is definitely, yeah, not going to be heartbroken out here. I saw sending false lovers. So somebody, you know, could be trying to send some type of false lovers to somebody. Going back to, yeah, like those three witches, whoever those three witches are. We got April. So somebody's name could be April. Something, you know, could have taken place in April. So somebody, you know, could have done something on the full moon in April. So somebody done something on the full moon in April, in May, you know what I mean? They could have done, you know, something on the full moon in June. Yeah, somebody keeps doing the same thing over and over, and yeah, it's not working. But we got a Cancer, Pisces, or a Scorpio. So there could be a Cancer, Pisces, or a Scorpio, you know, that could want somebody to compromise their well-being or want somebody to be heartbroken. There's a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio that definitely, yeah, is hiding their feelings, or yeah, they're hiding some stuff. This Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio could be lost in the sauce. Maybe, you know, they're lost, you know, when it comes to, you know, like to people around them. Yeah, so this could be the person that can't think for themselves. So they could be lost, you know, as far as, you know, people around them, wanting them to compromise their well-being, want them to, you know, like be heartbroken. Yeah. Somebody definitely is about to find out, yeah, that somebody is not on their side. Somebody's a traitor out here. Whoever this is, they possibly, yeah, they gossip about somebody, you know. They could negatively talk to people about somebody. This is somebody, you know, that, yeah, they gaslight to gain, you know, like power and control out here. This person definitely, yeah, could operate, you know, like in the South Node. This is somebody that's spiritually in debt out here. They, yeah, sending distractions, so be aware. So word, you know, could have gotten back to somebody, you know, that somebody's favored by God out here. So yeah, somebody is definitely, yeah, avoiding direct communication. So somebody, you know, yeah, they gossip to other people about somebody instead of, you know, like telling somebody how they feel, you know, to themselves, you know, like to their face. But whoever this is, you know, they possibly, you know, could, you know, want to ask for some type of help out here. So going back to, yeah, like the woe is me. But yeah, like you can't help the unhelpable. Whoever this is, you know, they could be, you know, like used to, you know, like things being handed to them. So this person, you know, has a sense of entitlement. I'm also picking up that, yeah, like somebody, you know, could be finding out, you know, like the people, about the people that are around them. We got tied to not get married. So I don't know, you know, if somebody, you know, was going, you know, like tell somebody else, you know, to communicate with somebody, you know, to be like, yeah, such and such said, you know, they wanted to get married. What you think? Somebody, you know, could possibly, yeah, find out, you know, that somebody, you know, was married the whole time. Or there's, you know, like a married couple, you know, that could be involved. But yeah, we got collusion. So somebody, you know, is in collusion. Somebody, you know, yeah, they have some type of secret agreement. Or some type of, you know, yeah, somebody, you know, could have cooperated for some type of illegal or deceitful purpose. Or somebody, you know, is trying to get somebody, you know, to get married to them, you know, to, you know, like make somebody be in collusion with something. Or, you know, somebody, yeah, they made some type of secret agreement, you know, like to get married or something like that. This is weird as hell. Or somebody, you know, yeah, they listen to other people, you know, when it comes to, you know, so somebody, you know, could have told them, you know, like, yeah, just marry them, you know, just marry them for the money, or just, you know, yeah. But there were people that were in collusion. Somebody, yeah, somebody deserves to be treated like a priority, not an option out here. We got 10 years. So something, you know, could have taken place 10 years ago, or somebody, you know, has you know, been in a situation for 10 years. Somebody, you know, could have been, you know, watching somebody for the last 10 years. Somebody, you know, has been avoiding some type of direct communication from somebody for 10 years. You know, that's for somebody, not everybody. But yeah, somebody's always prepared. So somebody, yeah, somebody stays ready so they don't have to get ready out here. So somebody, you know, could have you know, been could have sought out for information. So yeah, seek and ye shall find. So somebody, you know, is about to, you know, find out some information. But he that find a wife findeth a good thing. So somebody, yeah, somebody possibly, yeah, could get married. Maybe somebody, you know, could get married, you know, after, you know, they've been in a relationship for 10 years. But yeah, somebody definitely, yeah, is being admired by many people, good and bad. And there is a low down dirty shame, a low down dirty liar out here that lacks empathy for others. Whoever this is, yeah, they thought that they could, you know, like cross somebody's personal boundaries without consequences out here. So yeah, there is a court situation. Somebody could be facing karma for something, you know, that they did 10 years ago. Somebody, you know, definitely, you know, could have tried to blame something on somebody, you know, from, you know, like something, you know, that took place 10 years ago. But there is a court situation out here for sure. I don't know if somebody, you know, is facing, you know, like 10 years. But yeah, somebody, yeah, needs to know that they are being admired by many people, good and bad. Somebody definitely, you know, has learned, you know, to adapt and, you know, like thrive and change out here. Whoever this is lost in the sauce and they can't catch up. Yeah, they possibly, you know, can't you know, like catch up, you know, like when it comes to, you know, like somebody's change, or, you know, like the changes that they made in somebody's life. So whoever this is, yeah, like they could be, you know, like avoiding some type of change out here. But somebody is in collusion. Somebody, you know, could be in collusion, you know, with a whole group of witches, or with a whole group, you know, like of people, you know, that are, you know, into, you know, like some dark stuff. We got new car, new home, new car, new life. So somebody, you know, could, you know, somebody, you know, could have gotten a new home, a new car, you know, it's a part of somebody's new life, or somebody, you know, is about to. But there is somebody, you know, that, yeah, they're not a traitor. I mean, they're not on somebody's side, they're a traitor. So somebody, you know, has already gotten a new home, a new car, you know, has started a new life. There definitely, yeah, are people, you know, that are gossiping, you know, about somebody. But whoever these people are, you know, that's been gossiping about somebody, yeah, they've been trying to interfere with God's work out here. Whoever, you know, could want to apologize, they could want to apologize, you know, going back to, you know, I never meant to hurt you, I never meant to do the things that I've done to you, but it's because, you know, they could have, you know, like gotten caught up. Somebody, you know, could have gotten caught up, you know, like invading somebody's privacy. So somebody, you know, could have gotten caught up, you know, intruding, you know, on someone's life. Or, you know, like, and try to intrude on somebody's private information without their consent. Somebody, you know, could have been, you know, like gossiping about some private information. My bad, y'all. I definitely keep getting phone calls. So somebody, you know, could get multiple phone calls. But, you know, that could be a part of, you know, like some distractions. So, again, be aware. You know, like somebody, you know, could have been invading somebody's privacy, you know, for like the last 10 years. Or, you know, yeah, like somebody, you know, could be looking at 10 years for, and, you know, like invading somebody's privacy out here. Going back to, you know, the harassing, you know, somebody, you know, could have lied and said, you know, that somebody, you know, has been harassing them and invading their privacy, you know. Somebody, you know, could have told somebody, yeah, like they're watching me. I don't know. But I feel like, you know, like somebody, you know, yeah, they could have, you know, like try to place some type of blame, you know, on somebody, you know. But yeah, like it's misplaced blame. It's misplaced anger. So there is something that somebody or some people don't see coming out here. For one, yeah, there are some people, you know, that, yeah, they don't see this coming when it comes, you know, like somebody being favored by God. So somebody, you know, could be about to receive something from the Most High God, you know, to like show some people, you know, that somebody is favored by God. But there's also somebody else that don't see, you know, something coming. Whoever this is, they're avoiding some type of direct contact with somebody. So whoever this is, they're possibly, you know, gonna try to ask somebody, you know, like what they think, you know, like try to get some type of advice. Or it goes back to, you know, like somebody, you know, can't think for themselves. For somebody, yeah, somebody is being told, you know, to stay ready so they don't have to get ready, because somebody possibly doesn't see, you know, this coming, as far as somebody reaching out to them, asking them for some type of advice. But whoever this is, you know, they're a part of the unhelpable group. And so, yeah, you can't help the unhelpable. We got a karmic mother. So there could be a karmic mother, you know, that could be involved. Somebody's karmic mother possibly doesn't, you know, see something coming. I don't know, somebody, you know, asks their, you know, got some type of advice, you know, from a karmic mother, you know, about a marriage or something like that. But somebody has issues with dependency out here. Somebody, you know, could have had issues with dependency, you know, for a very long time. Wow. We got locked up. Throw away the key. So somebody doesn't see it coming to where, you know, they possibly, yeah, could get locked up. I don't know, you know, if somebody, you know, gets locked up and then they try to, you know, like, ask somebody to marry them, you know, or, yeah, like somebody, you know, could find out, you know, that, like, somebody, you know, could have been locked up, you know, when they, you know, got married while they were locked up. But then, you know, like, when they got out, you know, they were still married. And, yeah, they could have, you know, like, gotten into another relationship. But somebody definitely, yeah, has faced many hardships and, you know, like, has made it out. So there could be people, you know, that they don't like the fact that, you know, like somebody, you know, has you know, like made it out of a lot of, you know, like hardships that they have faced out here. There definitely, yeah, are people, you know, or somebody, you know, is looking, you know, like over their shoulder. Yeah. Somebody's silence is making somebody nervous out here. Somebody's first, middle, last name could start with an R. There is a legal situation that definitely is being looked into, because somebody definitely, yeah, was singled out here. So somebody, you know, could have, you know, like chose somebody, you know, to, you know, like go against, you know. This could be because, you know, maybe somebody looks gullible and naive, you know. Maybe somebody, you know, somebody thought that somebody was dumb, stupid, and slow or whatever, you know. But they just didn't know that somebody was favored by God. But somebody definitely, yeah, was singled out here. So there could be somebody, you know, that could say, you know, that addictions, you know, like made them do, you know, whatever they did to somebody. Somebody, you know, yeah, somebody, you know, could have been spiritually attacking somebody. Now they're looking over their shoulder because, yeah, they could be being, you know, like spiritually attacked back, but don't have nothing to do, you know, with the person that they singled out. I'm also picking up too that, yeah, somebody, you know, could have, you know, been trying to avoid some type of direct communication, thinking, you know, that it was going to, you know, like cause somebody, you know, to spiral downward, or to cause somebody, you know, to spaz out, or cause somebody, you know, to, you know, like act irrational. But because somebody's not doing that, yeah, it's making somebody nervous as well. So yeah, somebody, you know, is being told, you know, like to focus on themselves at this time. Somebody definitely, yeah, could have an epiphany. So somebody, you know, could have a sudden realization or moment of clarity where they understand something in a new way out here. But somebody definitely, yeah, broke the law. There's also somebody, you know, that's obsessed with being the center of attention out here. So there goes that 888. So you could be seeing 888. Somebody definitely, yeah, lives at Karma Drives. Yeah, karma is definitely knocking. We got a Leo, so there could be a Leo involved. There could be a Leo, you know, that somebody's silence is making them nervous. There could be a Leo, you know, that could be about to get locked up. Well, whatever somebody or some people did, yeah, it was all about the money. Yeah, it's some selfish and greedy individuals out here. Somebody, you know, could have been the first, you know, to like go through some type of hardships and make it out, you know. Somebody, you know, could have, yeah, been the first to, you know, like learn to, you know, like thrive and change out here. Somebody definitely, yeah, could be looking over their shoulder because, yeah, they could feel like that, you know, like they're being watched and followed. Somebody definitely, yeah, is being watched and followed out here. So somebody just needs to be aware of their surroundings, but goes back to social media. There could be a lot of people, yeah, that could be watching somebody, you know, like following somebody, you know, like on social media. A lot of good, you know, but, you know, a lot of bad as well. But we have a rat in the community. So somebody, you know, could be a rat in the community out here. So that could be why, you know, the whole community is concerned. So word could have gotten back, you know, that the person, you know, they could have tried to single out somebody is now being singled out, you know, for being, you know, like a rat in the community. But we got spiritual allies. So somebody definitely, yeah, has a spiritual ally out here. You could be seeing the angel number 222. Yeah, focus on what you want, not what you don't want. Yeah, there's somebody or some people that, yeah, they're stuck in a cycle. Because all they do is lie and spread fake news out here. So be aware, because there definitely, yeah, could be somebody, you know, that wants to prove that they have changed. But yeah, whoever this is, yeah, they're still trying to interfere with God's work out here. Yep. Somebody possibly, yeah, could have, like put others' needs before their own. Mm-mm. So not only, is somebody, like aware of who they are, but somebody, yeah, they're a selfless individual. So somebody, is being told, like to remember, what God told them. So, somebody, could have, God could have told somebody, that they have a spiritual ally, God could have told somebody, yeah, about whoever these people are. They lost in the sauce and they can't, and, they can't catch up. So I feel like, like somebody, is just being told, like to, like respond rationally, if there's a need for communication or, like handle this situation with divine class. But there is somebody or some people that that believe the lies about somebody, and yeah, now they regret it. Somebody definitely could have tried to like blame like somebody for giving them an STD or something like that. But somebody definitely manipulated some paperwork. This could have something to do with a marriage. This could have something to do with a home. This could have something to do with a car. So somebody, could be the last to find out about something. So whoever, word has got back to, they could be the last to find out that all this stuff, like took place. Somebody, could have tried to single somebody out, for some type of love spell, but they could have, like pointed the finger at the wrong person. But we have compassion is key. So somebody, is being told, that compassion, is a part of, I feel like, yeah, like somebody, is just being told, to have some type of compassion. It doesn't mean, that people get to waltz back up in your life or walk all over you, like a doormat, because I feel like that's what people already tried to do. But yeah, somebody definitely is a source of positive energy out here. And so there are people that don't want to let go of somebody. So people, like spiritually attack somebody, to cause somebody, to, not let go of them, or they spiritually attack somebody, to like somebody could do a mental spell, to cause somebody to be mentally confused out here. But yeah, somebody has stone walls built around them. We got an Aquarius, so you could be an Aquarius, so there's Aquarius involved. There could be Aquarius that wants to prove that they have changed. There could also be like an Aquarius that like is a source of positive energy out here. But somebody definitely could be too embarrassed to show their face, so that could be why why somebody could want to send somebody in to communicate with somebody. But whoever this is, yeah, they could be full of excuses. Anything else? Somebody's first or last name can start with an I. Somebody's karmic mother definitely, could be involved. Somebody's karmic mother, could have been a part of, like trying to single out somebody. Somebody's karmic mother could have been a part of, like manipulating, like some paperwork. But yeah, somebody definitely needs to know that whoever these people are not who, somebody thinks that they are. So when it comes to, like somebody's karmic mother, somebody's karmic mother is not, like who, like somebody thinks that they are. There's a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio that, is not who somebody thinks that they are. So there's somebody, that could have told somebody a whole, flat out lie about their life. Yeah. Somebody definitely, could be isolating themselves from everyone out here. But yeah, there's somebody or some people, that definitely, thought that somebody was gullible and naive. Something, could take place within the next 6 months, or, like somebody, could have been, like in some type of relationship, for like 6 months. Somebody, could have been isolating themselves from everyone for the past 6 months. Somebody could have manipulated paperwork, in the last 6 months. But yeah, we got the water sign. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So there's a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio that possibly, yeah, believed, like some type of lies, and now they regret it. Or yeah, there's multiple people, they believe the lies and now they regret it. But yeah, not showing you love is their loss. Anything else? So somebody, could be trying to cause a diversion out here. So be aware. Somebody's karmic mother could be trying to cause a diversion. But there definitely, could be people that could be overreacting over lies. It's because they've been caught. They guilty. Or somebody, could, like reach out to somebody, and overreact over, their lies because they've been caught. Somebody definitely is in their feelings out here. And there definitely are people that are overly curious about somebody's life. These people, could be obsessed, with like some type of social status out here. Somebody's brother could be involved. Somebody's brother could be overly curious about somebody's life. I keep seeing financial payment coming. So there could be, like a financial payment, that could be coming somebody's way. Maybe there is some people, that know that there's a financial payment coming somebody's way. But there is somebody that definitely is determined to change somebody. So be aware. But I feel like, they thought that somebody was gullible and naive. And they can't fool somebody. So that could be why, they try to send somebody in, Somebody's life path could be the life path number 8. Yeah, all about manifestation. So while somebody, is out here manifesting, people are out here manipulating paperwork. Somebody, could be choosing the black sheep out here. There is somebody or some people, that could have, like told somebody, like, oh, they just want to change you. Oh, they just want to control you. Oh, they just want to, But it was all lies, It's, somebody's greedy karmic family. So there's a greedy karmic family, that could be obsessed with, like their social status, that could be overly curious about somebody's life. But confident people aren't afraid to be themselves. So somebody's confident and they're not afraid to be themselves. So there could be people, that are determined to change somebody. So they don't want somebody to be confident and they want somebody to be afraid to be themselves. So somebody, is being told to stay fearless, and courageous. But somebody's not playing games out here. So people could find out, that whoever, this message is for is not playing games. They could find out, that the Most High God is not playing games about somebody. Somebody, they believe some type of lies and now they regret it. So people, could have said, oh, they're playing games and woo yada yada. And somebody, could find out that, like somebody wasn't playing games. Somebody, was, they live in real life mentality, not fantasy world mentality. So you could be seeing the angel number 999. So there's an ending out here. Somebody definitely slandered somebody's name with the intent to harm. Somebody, could have, like intended, like to harm somebody. Or, somebody, was slandering somebody's name with the intent that somebody was going to harm somebody. But all it is gossip. Somebody's spiritual ally, is not playing games with these people. So, there definitely could be some exposure, of many people out here. There could be some type of public brawl that could break out. Because there is somebody or some people that, committed selfish acts out here. We got a Libra, Scorpio, Cusper. Somebody, possibly, could have somebody, like to reach out to somebody and be like, they're not playing games with your heart. They really love you and woo yada yada. But I feel like somebody just needs to, stay ready so they don't have to get ready. But there is somebody, they're on the verge of a mental breakdown out here. And somebody, could be, like on the verge, like to financial freedom. But there are many people that are facing hardship due to one person. So one person, could have gotten multiple people, like involved with something. somebody, you know, could be on the verge of a mental breakdown because of some type of cold, hard facts. There's a bigot out here. So there is somebody that's full of hatred of many things. So it's whoever this bigot is, I feel like that's the one, you know, that caused, you know, many people, you know, to be facing some type of hardship at this time. But we have a court hearing, so somebody definitely, could have some type of court hearing out here. Somebody, you know, could be on the mental verge of a breakdown because of some type of court hearing. But yeah, whoever this is, they committed selfish acts, and yeah, they were playing mind games. Somebody possibly, could try to wrongly get somebody convicted of a crime, or that's a part of, you know, like some type of selfish acts that somebody committed, trying to, you know, get somebody wrongly convicted of a crime. But somebody, is not to be trusted. Somebody, is a master of disguise out here. So there is somebody or some people that, you know, trying to steal somebody's joy. Yeah, they can't steal somebody's joy. There are some people, you know, that, they thought that somebody wouldn't change. But yeah, somebody did. Whoever these people are, they're more interested in, you know, your life than their own. And somebody definitely, is desperate for love, or they're going to be acting like, you know, that they're desperate for somebody's love because, there could be a financial payment, you know, they could be, coming somebody's way. So somebody, you know, needs to use caution when it comes to whoever these people are. Because, there's somebody, you know, that has entered into the danger zone out here. Possibly, you know, because, they were sacrificing animals. So not only were they trying to harm, you know, one of God's children, they were trying to harm one of, you know, God's animals as well. Somebody definitely, doing voodoo, rituals, black magic. Somebody's a liability out here. Or somebody, you know, would try to consider, you know, like somebody as a liability, or people told somebody that somebody was a liability. I feel like it's because of somebody's strength, mental strength, physical strength, spiritual strength, emotional strength. But word got back to somebody, you know, that somebody told the truth from the beginning. And it has something to do with some dangerous threats. Yeah, but somebody's words and actions, they definitely don't match up out here. Yeah, we got growth mindset. So somebody's in their growth mindset out here. I feel like somebody, needs to, you know, just focus on themselves at this time. Anything else? Yeah, we got an epiphany. So somebody definitely, could have an epiphany out here. Somebody possibly, you know, wants to speak from the heart, you know, but something about, having compassion. I don't know, you know, somebody, you know, is, like, trying to play on somebody's heartstrings so that somebody could have compassion. But we saw compassion as the key. We got official letter. So somebody, you know, could receive an official letter. We talked about somebody receiving a letter, I think, yesterday? But we did see the You Got Mail card. So something about, official letter or email. But we got a Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. So there could be a Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo involved. Somebody's first, middle, or last name could start with an A. Somebody possibly, could be trying to, you know, like change somebody's mind out here. So somebody just needs to be aware. Somebody could be an owner of a business, or somebody, you know, could be trying to change somebody's mind, you know, and it could have something to do with a business. We got a Virgo, so there could be a Virgo that could be trying to change somebody's mind. We got 2 years. So somebody, you know, somebody, you know, could have gone back to the beginning, you know, like, so somebody didn't receive some type of form of communication. It could be a official letter that they were supposed to receive 2 years ago. There could be somebody, you know, that, like somebody hasn't had any communication from, you know, for, you know, like 2 years. You know, they could be trying to get somebody to change their mind. But somebody definitely, isn't informed fully, hasn't been fully informed about some information. So there could be, you know, like somebody that could be trying to, you know, like put on, you know, like a brave face out here. So there could be some type of change in communication. Mm-hmm. Somebody, yeah, is being told, like to, stay focused on their goals. Because, yeah, there's somebody, that has been letting their ego run the show. Somebody, has been putting up a front out here. So, anything else? Yeah. So whoever this is, yeah, they're about to receive a much needed wake up call over a much needed wake up call. Yeah. There's somebody, that, yeah, they definitely, yeah, could have been holding on to the way things work. This could be, like when it comes to, like their past. But somebody possibly, wants somebody, to, yeah, like, somebody's trying to change somebody's mind. Somebody, could be trying to, like get somebody to, like act like that, whatever they did, it never happened. Something about, yeah, somebody's father. Somebody's father could be significant. Somebody's father could have broke the law. Somebody's father, could have been gossiping and spreading rumors. I don't know, but somebody's boastful bragging, definitely, yeah, could have them, like facing some type of federal charges out here. So somebody, could want to reach out to somebody, or they want to, like get somebody to, like communicate with somebody. Tell them, act like it never happened. Or there could be multiple people, yeah, they were in collusion. So there could be, somebody, emailing somebody DMing somebody calling somebody sending somebody a letter, but they're all trying to get somebody, to, yeah, act like it never happened, just say that we didn't do it, or, whatever have you. But nah, it don't work like that. Because regardless, yeah, justice is going to be served. And, yeah, karma is still going to, yeah, eat somebody or some people alive out here. So, as I always say, y'all, keep your head held high and your middle finger higher. And everything's going to turn out in your favor. With that being said, y'all, that's been your message. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you soon.